Welcome, everybody. I'm Dr. Angelica Underwood, and I love to connect with successful entrepreneurs who share their expert profit secrets during my live radio show and my live streams, webinars. I am an influential leader, spiritual business mentor, and I'm the founder of the largest networking and referring organization across the globe known as Match Entrepreneurs. And I am really, really excited in being here with you today. I interviewed top experts from across the globe, and I'm always committed about getting you what you want in business and in life. I always find the right experts that have the answers you have been searching for. So I am so glad that you are joining me today so that you can really take your business to the next level. I mean, I interview people like Slavika Botdeva, and she will be helping you discover and learn all there is about achieving financial abundance with experts. And she's going to be on my show next Friday, so I really needed to let you know so that you can join me next Friday. But the show is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be at 10 a.m. And like I said, I love to connect with experts. And with me today, I have an amazing speaker that you guys are going to love. Welcome, Tomasa. How are you? Can you hear me? Click on your Can you hear me, Tomasa? For some reason, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Maybe it's me. I don't know. We'll see. Can you hear me, Tomasa? Can you hear me? Oh, there. You could hear me.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. There.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Were you hearing me the whole time, or it was?
I could hear you, but I needed to unmute the microphone. So.
Okay, beautiful. Well, I'm glad because I was introducing the whole show, and I am so glad that you're here with me today. And let me just allow me a little time to introduce you to our audience. To my audience, just give me a second because I am going to do this. Sharing the screen here. Awesome. Can you see the PowerPoint?
I cannot see the PowerPoint.
Huh. Okay. Maybe I
need to activate something. Hold on. Screen share.
No. You know what? It was me. There.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Like I was telling you, this is my live show, and I always interview top experts, and I just want to show you a few experts here and that I have interviewed in the past. Irina Baker, Lexi Johnson, Sahara Nafal, Jerry Eddington, Nora Dykema, Suzanne Joan Rini, and like I said, today we're going to be talking about 3 massive mistakes smart holistic entrepreneurs make that keep them from attracting high-end clients. And Tomasa, help me pronounce your last name because I want to make sure that I pronounce it correctly.
It's Makapinlak.
Okay, awesome. Maka Pinlac. Beautiful. I want to make sure that I pronounce it correctly. So, okay. Give me a second here. I'm going to be moving this over here. And perfect. So I really, really want to welcome everybody. Like I said, Tomasa is a magnificent expert, and she's going to be talking to you more about what she does. But like I said, today is about smart, holistic entrepreneurs who are tired and anxious from topsy-turvy roller coaster rides of entrepreneurship. And you might as well tell us more, Tomasa, because I mean, you have had more than 1,000 people in your audience, and you are just, I mean, rocking. And all these entrepreneurs out there need to know more about what you have to share, because it's amazing work. I mean, you're a business mentor. You specialize in self-care in a truly transformative way. I mean, you understand firsthand of that self-care in the fast-paced world, because you've been in business for what, 18 years?
I have been, yes.
Yeah. Yes. Now, I know that a lot of entrepreneurs out there, that you're probably listening right now and you're on the show, or you're probably going to be listening to this replay. I mean, Tomasa experienced burnout. Ancient healing modalities not only nourished her back to health, but imbued her life with a newfound vibrancy and energy, ultimately helping her look and feel decades younger. I mean, look at her. She looks amazing. And creating potent tools to help her bounce back quickly from her challenges. And I know that many of you out there are having similar challenges, so we are going to introduce Tomasa to you, and she's going to be talking to you more about what she does. But she has been recognized a nationally recognized diplomat of Asian bodywork therapy. I want to know more about that. And she has given thousands of sessions, about 800 talks, workshops, and retreats focused on helping people understand and exercise self-help care in their lives, who are committed to reaching anyone and everyone passionate about working and living holistically. Now, Tomasa has produced numerous programs for quick and easy ways to practice self-care, including her signature audio, the Vibrant Energy Flow System. Her online program is, well, how many weeks? It's 6 weeks. It's quadruple your energy in 6 weeks or less. And today, she is in the midst of birthing a 30 Days to Vibrant, Healthier, Younger You. So with sponsorships and partnerships from local holistic vendors such as Whole Foods Market. Now, Tomasa, welcome. I mean, I can go on and on telling our audience about you, but I think I want you to you share more of what you're doing.
Well, there's a lot of things I'm doing. So first of all, you know, I'm a self-care expert, or a self-care specialist, I should say. I've been practicing self-care for over 18 years. So I am a holistic entrepreneur, where I'm a holistic practitioner who actually trains and mentors other holistic entrepreneurs to actually sell and share their self-care packages out there in the world. I have a big vision, and my vision is to see the world coming back into harmony and balance. And I had this vision back in 2010. I thought I had to do it by myself with my my healing work. And so for me, what's come up for me probably about a year or so ago, it was that I can't do this by myself. And so the vision came to me that I needed to actually help other holistic practitioners or other healers out there get their work out there in the world in a big, big way. This new product that I'm launching actually is it is basically out there to help the masses, so that when people are feeling like they can't call on someone in the middle of the night, they have their own tools, they have their own hands to help others. And so, you know, I really have this big vision to be out there in the world sharing with people these tools. And so I'm making ancient healing modalities available to the general public, like nobody's business. And even those folks who feel like they already go to someone to get healing done, or a holistic entrepreneur or holistic practitioner or whatever, you know, they can still use these tools to help them in between their sessions with their holistic practitioner. Whether they're seeing an acupuncturist or a chiropractor, it all helps. I mean, I've got people who have given testimonials about how their chiropractor adjustments are so much easier because of this work. So what I'm also doing, by the way, is I'm helping holistic entrepreneurs get their word out there in the world, get clients, because we have a big vision to fulfill here, to bring the world back into harmony and balance. And that is my purpose and my purpose mission here. So,
Awesome.
yes.
Well, that's just remarkable, you know. Now, do you need the PowerPoint so I can bring them up right now for our discussion? Or yes?
You can, or we can just talk. Whatever you want to do is fine with me. I'm pretty flexible. I can do whatever we need to do. I'm okay with that.
Okay. Well, I'm just thinking that you put a lot of work into this PowerPoint, and I think that we need to share your message because you have something just brilliant. And I know that there's a lot of mistakes that as holistic and spiritual entrepreneurs we're making. And it keeps us from reaching those high-end clients that you've been talking about. So do you want to start there to kind of help us understand what we need to do?
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and put this PowerPoint for you.
So this is really funny because, you know, I've been doing this work for 18 years myself as a holistic entrepreneur. And I see this a lot just working with other holistic entrepreneurs, some of the things that we actually do. So, you know, I would like to actually, you know, say that, you know, there are a lot of us who feel out of balance in the world. Like maybe we are not quite walking our talk, or perhaps what's happening with holistic entrepreneurs is that they give away so much. You give away so much, and you hardly get anything back in return. And I think the biggest thing is that they're unable to receive. And so, you know, I can say, you know, all of you out there, raise your hand if you feel like, you know, you could use a lot more in your bank balance so that you could feel more peace of mind and at ease and have some breathing room in your life when it comes to your finances. And I can't say, you know, a lot of holistic entrepreneurs probably would raise their hand for that one. I've been. And then the other thing is I see a lot of holistic entrepreneurs do is give away their services and products. They feel like, and I just heard this the other day, I hear this every day because I'm always in communication with them, is that, you know, what the work that I'm doing is a gift. It's very heart-centered. It comes from the soul level. And so how do I actually charge for it? I'm not supposed to charge for it. It's a gift. And so really the truth is that you've been shown up here on this earth here with this gift that you have, whether that's very intuitive or you've got healing hands. And you know, the thing is that it's okay to actually charge for your services. It's okay because really, you know, you have to get over the hump about what money is really about, because it's just a form of exchange anyway. And then the other piece I want to talk about is this is a big one. It's a biggie, and I'm going to be talking about it in depth as I talk with you all, is that many holistic practitioners or entrepreneurs do is they lead with the modality, talking with people about the modality. And most of the time, folks don't even know what your modality is. And so how many of you see that when you leave with your modality or you talk about what it is that you do, you get this glazed look over you, or maybe you lose someone's attention because they have no idea what you're talking about. And then the other piece is that I see this happening a lot too, and I just got off the phone with one, is that they don't practice their own self-care. It's like they're out there doing this healing work, but when it comes to themselves, they don't practice it. Like they're running low on energy, and they're not sure how they're going to serve their clients with what little energy they have. And then also they expect to get a swarm of clients to come see them who really energetically they can't handle it. And so what ends up happening is that, you know, energetically they only attract a certain amount of clients to them because energetically that's all they can handle. But if they were taking care of themselves on a more regular basis, if you're taking care of yourself on a more regular basis, and what I mean by that, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that, is that you will see that what you put out is what you attract back to yourself, because this is called the law of attraction. This is truly what we magnetize to us.
Okay. So why do you think that it's so important that, you know, that we begin to do that self-care? Because I know that you have a story to share. And, you know, how can we turn this around for us as holistic entrepreneurs?
So I would love to share my story, and I'll share that with you real quick. So here I am today. You know, I'm pretty vibrant, and if you were to guess my age, how old do you think I am, Angelica?
You look super young. Younger, super young. You do.
Yes.
Oh my God.
How old do you think I am?
Well, I don't know. You might be in your early 40s, mid 40s.
Okay. All right. I'll take that. I'm 51 years old. I'm 51 years old.
Oh my goodness!
And
Yay.
I found a picture of myself before I discovered all this work. I was about 32 years old. And the truth is that today I'm very vibrant. I only work a few days a week hands-on on clients, and the other days of the week I'm doing some marketing, and I'm working with holistic entrepreneurs on phone calls, you know, doing some coaching and mentoring with them, or I'm teaching them classes online on a webinar series that I'm actually in the process of right now of Holistic Sales Suite. I live in this beautiful home in the San Francisco Bay Area on a golf course, and I love being hands-on folks. The thing I love is traveling to, and more recently one of my trips has been to Peru, where I practice and actually embrace Inca shamanism. And I have two beautiful adult daughters. This picture I found of them, actually that was probably a couple years ago. I wish I had a more up-to-date that I could find for you. I have two beautiful daughters who are actually in college right now. And so they'll be finishing up next year, each of them, on their own path there. But I want you to know that I haven't always been so vibrant here. I want to say back when I was about 32 years old, I was on the road to burnout. And I was numb to what was happening to me because I was working in the high-tech corporate world. I actually have an engineering degree, believe it or not. And I was working in high-tech in Silicon Valley out here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And the thing about it was that I was a big breadwinner in my household. I also was super mom. And I was highly successful with a sales career in the high-tech industry, selling semiconductors, no less. And then I went on to go sell equipment to develop semiconductors with, you know, with their designs. So I've been doing sales for a long time in my life, you know, so I get it about sales. I can sell. The thing about it is that I was on the road to burnout. And I was doing everything, serving my clients, taking care of my kids, taking care of the household. I was doing everything, being everything to everyone but myself, moi. And so one day I awakened, and I felt so exhausted and so tired that I could barely crawl out of bed. I mean, physically tired. But the key also was that, sorry about that, my phone. The key to that was also that I was feeling very, like my immune system was down. I had a cold, and I couldn't get over it. I couldn't get over it fast enough. And so what ended up happening for me is that I went to go see a doctor, and even in those days, I wasn't really into the Western medicine thing. I would go to the doctor. It had to be it was really serious that I was feeling really down. So I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Tomasa, you need to get bed rest for 3 days." So I went and got bed rest, and for 3 days. And she said you couldn't do anything. I couldn't work. I couldn't take care of the kids. I couldn't cook dinner. I couldn't drop them off or pick them up from daycare because my daughters were toddlers then. And so I got bed rest for 3 days. I did nothing. And it was like a little mini vacation for me. And let me tell you, after the 3rd day, I went back to work, and I crawled myself back to work because I'm driving with all the energy I have to the office. And by noon, I just want to go crawl under the covers again, and I have no idea how I'm going to get home because I have no energy to drive home. And it's at least a 45-minute drive home for me from the office. And so anyway, lucky me, I had a coworker who was observing me, and she knew me. And she knew I was open to alternative. And so she sent me to a practitioner who practiced what I do today. And I remember carrying the number around for a little bit and finally saying, "Tomasa, who are you fooling? You need to go see this woman." So I called her up. I got in for a session with her. I got on the table, finally, because it took a while to do all that. And I'm still exhausted and tired, and the cold is not getting much better, by the way. And I get on the table, and I said, "I don't know what you're doing, but I'm coming back after she's done with me." Because I felt like I was getting myself back. It wasn't just the physical part. It was like this internal part of me, like, oh, my God, I'm remembering who I am and what I'm here to do. And I had forgotten about that because I turned into this robot mom, robot superwoman. And so I began to see this woman weekly. And then I tried to cut it back to every 2 weeks, but that just wasn't happening. Being in the corporate world and being stressed out and have my shoulders up to my ears, where my shoulder blades are burning me and my feet, with the soles of my feet burning me, and all kinds of things. So I began to notice that a lot of my health issues were starting to clear up. I used to have really bad asthma, and that got better. I didn't have to use an inhaler as much. I had really bad allergies. That improved. And then I noticed that the soles of my feet didn't burn so much anymore. And I had more stamina. And so eventually she taught me how to work on myself because I took a self-help class from her. And that's kind of what this product is that I'm putting out there. It's like putting it out there to the world, how to work on yourself so that you don't get to these extreme cases of burnout. And so I ended up learning how to do the modality myself, and then going on to learn Chinese medicine. And then I began to have my own healing practice, and I eventually left corporate America in 2001. That was, and
wow,
full-time practice. And then more recently, I built that practice up. I have a lot of loyal clients, and what eventually happened was, like I said, okay, I only will see clients who are loyal, who are really interested in taking care of themselves. I don't want just anybody coming in off the streets anymore. So I'm very exclusive about who I work with now. And then I decided to help other holistic practitioners or other holistic entrepreneurs, healers, to help them build their practices because I know what it takes to do it. I know the ins and outs. I've been through the roller coaster ride. And bring my business skills to the table because I was talking to people about business anyway as they were on the table with me. I seem to attract a lot of healers in my business as well as a healer. And they would go, Tomasa, how do you do this? How do you have all these clients? And how do you sell these packages? And so it was like, well, it was the next evolution of me bringing all my gifts to the table. And so here I am. I'm teaching holistic entrepreneurs how to package themselves, how to package, because really what they're selling is self-care. And so how do you package it, have programs about it, and offer your services and sell them with ease? And that's what I'm here to do.
I think that what you're doing is amazing. It's amazing work because as a holistic entrepreneur, I know what you're talking about, that many people out there who are healers and you're working on other people, we tend to forget about ourselves because we're serving others constantly. So I really like your work, and I think it's a beautiful journey and work that you're providing to other people out there. Now, I know that there's a second mistake that you want to share with us on what other mistake are we creating?
Well, here's one of the things. Okay, so first of all, the first mistake is to walk your talk. And walking your talk includes self-care. And I guess I talked about that a little bit. So when we don't embody self-care, we're unable to attract folks who want self-care from us. And so that means embodying some rituals. I think you can go on to the next slide. That means embodying some self-care rituals. And one of them would be, practicing some daily self-care rituals. Another one would be going out there and getting some work done on yourself by a professional. And here's the thing, pay for it. Because a lot of holistic entrepreneurs like to trade their services. And so what trading does, it attracts more trading. And so, it's really key that we manage ourselves, our own selves, because we're human. Even though we're healers, we're still human. We're in these bodies to be here on earth. And so we're actually here to manage our own stuff, because what we need to walk our talk and to live on our brand of whatever type of self-care that we provide to others. And sometimes that self-care might look like maybe we help people with back pain. So we need to make sure that our back pain, maybe that's how we got into doing what we're doing. So we need to make sure that we're intact with our back pain and that we feel supported, because that's really what back pain is about anyway, feeling supported, that your structure is supported. So are you going to get yourself some regular help to make sure you maintain your body so that you don't encounter back pain, and pay for it too, because you want people to pay you for your services?
I love that. I love that you're talking about that, because that trading of services can be very, very hard. I mean, how do you go about saying no when somebody says, well, let's trade services? I mean, what is your advice? Because I know that there's a lot of holistic entrepreneurs out there that might be running into the same mistake, that they're trading services and not getting paid, but then they want to get paid.
Yes. Well, so here's the thing. I encounter a lot of people who always want to trade, and I go, I don't trade, I'm sorry. Here's the thing. If I want to pay for their services, I will gladly pay them for their services. And I always ask folks, hey, can I pay you for that? Because I want to attract that into my business. That's the truth. And I often tell holistic entrepreneurs that if you want to attract people in your business who pay you, then you need to pay for services that you are actually want to get paid for. So I see mentors, and my self-care day is Monday, and so that is the day that I actually go and I pay for services to get work done on me. That is very similar to the work that I do on others. Of course, every practitioner is a little bit different. Each of us have our own flair and how we show up and express the work. But, pretty much the modalities that I practice, I go see a couple of different mentors for it, and I pay them for it. And so and actually it's so funny, because sometimes I will pay my mentors more than what they ask for, because I expect I probably get more for my sessions than from some of my mentors, and that's the truth. And so that's my way of saying I value what you do, because I want to be valued for what I do as well.
Absolutely. I think that we send messages out there based on our attitude, our behaviors, and our practices. So I love what you have what you're sharing today. It's beautiful. Wow, look at you there. Self-care.
So here's the thing about self-care. You know what? Self-care appears in so many different ways. It's more than just being in this physical body and getting some work done on yourself or working on yourself, exercising, maybe meditating or whatever. But you know, one of the things I say is, how do you manage your stress? Because we all experience some kind of stress. I don't think anyone has not ever checked off the stress box when they come to fill out a client intake form from me. And so one of the things I say, you know, twisting is actually a way of managing your stress, because stress in terms of Chinese medicine, the 5 elements we talk about, is like the trees out there. Think about the trees. When they're stressed, the limbs twist and turn, and we have that same element within us. So I say, find a way to twist, and one of the ways I say is to dance. I like to do the twist and dance with the twist.
Ah.
Or if you're doing yoga positions, there are yoga positions where you actually, you know, you'll actually turn all the way around, look around. There's twisting yoga asanas. And even like things with Tai Chi, we do a lot of twisting and turning with Tai Chi because we pretend like we are trees in Tai Chi.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I
love that.
find a way that you can twist. And then the other piece is, how do you unmask yourself? I think it's on the previous slide. So how do you unmask?
No. Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing, I had a mask on. And so much of what we do is we pretend. I mean, we all have this within us. And we don't realize is that we alienate ourselves from folks when we do a lot of pretending. So we might be like, girl got it all together on the outside, but is a mess on the inside. And
you are so right.
I had to really work on this myself, and I'm sharing this because this is from my heart, and it became very clear to me. I was at this woman's retreat, and somebody said to me, because I thought she had it all together, right? And she didn't just say it to me, she just said, I get it. I don't have to be girl who got it all together on the outside. It's a freaking mess on the inside. And so here's the thing is that we need to share our humanness with people, because the more we share our humanness with people, yes, we're going to make mistakes. Yes, we got things going on with us. But what people are really interested in is how we get over that. So the more humanness that we show, the more relatable we are. And that doesn't mean you have to air all your dirty laundry or anything, but you need to show people that you are human just like them, that you have the same issues and problems that they have, and they're looking for someone to look up to that can get over that and say, oh my God, I'm inspired by that. And so that's when I say, like, peel back that mask and just take it off and be yourself. Be transparent if you can.
Wow. That's just wonderful. You know why? Because it is so true. We tend to try to be so perfect, and that's why sometimes we don't even walk into our greatness, because we confuse our power with perfectionism, you know, and people don't want to live on purpose because they're like, well, I'm not perfect, I'm not there yet, what are people going to say? But ladies, if you're listening to this, or men, if you're joining this event, look at this beautiful message that she's sharing today. You know, self-care does not equal perfectionism. So thank you for sharing that. It's powerful.
I want to share another piece here about trying to be perfect, or this pretentiousness piece. It takes a lot of energy to try to be perfect. Have you noticed that?
Absolutely, yes. Yes.
Yeah, and it wears you out. It's exhausting. So, you know, as I told my story of being the superwoman, guess what? I have my mask on trying to be superwoman. Think about superwoman wears a mask, right?
Yeah.
So there you go, you know. So it's taken a lot for me to just peel back those layers and be okay. I think my girls as adults now, my daughters are like, who is this woman? Mom. I'm more relatable today.
Wow. Well, this is just wonderful. And, I mean, is self-care equals to rituals and habits? Tell us more about this. I mean, is this another...
This is funny because it's a picture of me with my new product that's coming out. And And the interesting thing is, one of my daily self-care rituals is doing these flow patterns on myself. Because the thing about these flow patterns, they keep me centered. They keep me into where I am, you know, into having balance and harmony in my life here. So it's really a great thing, because sometimes we have all this scattered energy. Because as a holistic entrepreneur, I'm going to tell you, you know, we are so comfortable with hands-on with people and doing the healing work. But the other piece is that once we have to go out and market ourselves and write copy and do these other things or put together talks and things, we get a little flustered when we get home. And I say this because I do it myself, and I see even my my holistic entrepreneur clients, when they're given an assignment to do, it's like they need someone to hold their hand once they get home. And so, and sometimes we need that focused energy to get things done. And so because we're all scattered, we have all these things to do, we don't seem to be able to get that copy done for our marketing, or maybe we don't make those phone calls we need to make that for potential clients who are interested in working with us, because we're so scattered all over the place. And we got all these things to do. And so one of the things I like to do is I like to take care of myself first thing in the morning, get myself ready for my day. Some people meditate. Well, me, this is kind of meditation, but I also do these flow patterns because they actually help me energetically with my body to bring everything into balance and harmony. So it's like getting ready for my day. One of the flows is specifically geared towards having focused energy. Very key. And so anybody who does that flow, they're like, yeah, you know, I have so much clarity and I get so much work done. Oh, my God. And so it's a really key piece for folks to do. And so I'm not saying everybody has to do it my way, but find what works for you. Some daily self-care rituals and habits. And some people meditate. Some people exercise. Some people go for a walk. And so find what works for you, so that when you get bombarded in your day, you don't react where you're snappy or, you know, you're overwhelmed or whatever, but you act in a very calm, you're in a very calm and peaceful place where you can deal with all that.
Now, can you give us an example for the people that are out there on what you mean by, you know, just one little process on what you're talking about right here?
Well, you know, this is a flow. Actually, this specific picture, it's actually coming out in a couple of days here. Actually, it's going to be out for early bird. But this is actually what we call a centering flow. And what it does is it centers us. And it allows us to really, like, bring ourselves back in balance. Some people say grounding. I like to say centering. And so it allows us to center ourselves rather than, or ground ourselves. And so we're very peaceful, we're quiet, we're harmonized, and when people approach us, we're like, okay, you know, and we're not ready to bite off someone's head because they said something to us and we're not really intact, we're not grounded or centered, but we're really in a peaceful place, and anything that's thrown at us, we can handle it. And so you're not reacting to people. In other words, you're doing some proactive work to help yourself so that you are there for your people, that you are there for maybe a family member, a friend, or whoever, or maybe someone is doing some road rage on you one day, and you know what? You're like, yeah, okay, that's their issue, not mine. And you're not reacting against it.
Yeah, and I think that's powerful, that even when you are centered and you begin to respond instead of reacting, I think it's a powerful way to be in your power, and people are not taking away from you. So for those of you that are interested in this process, she is almost ready to come up with this, right? It's a program. What is it called? Do you want to give us the name?
Yes, it's called 30 Days to a Vibrant, Healthier, Younger You. And I'm going to be sharing with you 30-day support, because what I find is a lot of people buy the programs and then they put them on the shelf and they do nothing with them. And so it's like, well, I'm going to be encouraging you to work on yourself and actually to embody this whole holistic lifestyle so that you are vibrant. You know, I want everyone to have what I have. Because if I showed you a picture, I wish I had showed you, given you one of those. A picture when I was 32 years old. I look a lot older at 32 than I do at 51 today.
Oh, wow.
And the key is how I was feeling too, because I was feeling a lot older at that age as well. So it wasn't just the looks; it was the feeling as well. And so what I'm sharing with you is you can reverse your aging process here as well. A lot of people are more interested in that and instead of the healthier lifestyle. But you know, the truth is that you can have more vibrancy. You need the energy to get things done. You need the energy to even be there for your loved ones, to actually have a relationship with folks. And so I think it's key. You know, you need the energy to be able to, like you and I have to have this energy here just to even have this interview. I mean, I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning. It is like 6 o'clock and almost 7 here in the evening, Pacific time. And here's the thing is, like, you know, how did I have the energy to fuel myself? Because it's been a very full day. As you know, I finally
But thank you. We're both here. We both made it. And you know why we're here? Because of you. For those of you that are listening, we have something powerful to share. Tomasa is full of energy, full of love, and she is talking about how to do self-care, and she has programs for that. Now tell us about the relationship with money, because I think that as an entrepreneur, especially holistic or spiritual entrepreneur, this is an issue many times.
It is, and I've got a picture of, you might know Morgana Ray, and I love Morgana Ray. She's one of my conscious business owner friends.
Did you put it here or no?
That picture with the money. She's racing in the money. And so here's the thing is, you know, I have a picture of her because she has a great relationship with money. If you ever hear her talk and see whatever she posts on Facebook. And I know Morgana, I've actually, you know, I've spoken, I mean, I know her face to face. And so
but you don't have it here with us, do you?
No, it was on the money picture. You got it back. Go backwards.
Oh, okay.
So here's the thing about money is that we really need to get our relationship with money straight here. So one back, go. There we go, right there. And so we have to look at our language about money. And so, you know, do you say things like, I can't afford it? Or, you know, instead of saying I can't afford it, how about you say it's not in the spending plan right now? Or, you know, do you use the language like, that's kind of expensive, or that's really cheap? And I know we all love bargains. I'm going to admit to that. I love bargains, okay? It's like if I can save something, great. But how about you say that's more than what I want to invest? And instead of using the word spend, how about we use the word invest? And so, you know, what I'm really looking at is the powerful language around money. So, you know, money is just energy. That's really the truth. And so if we look at it as energy, that's great. You know, I had someone say on Facebook one day, because I was doing some marketing about, you know, hey, you know, make lots of moolah, you know, do what you love and make lots of moolah. And somebody was saying, well, what's money got to do with it? It's like money has everything to do with it. The truth is that if we don't have money, we can't put a roof over our head. We can't eat food on the table. We can't do the things that we want to do. Maybe we want to travel. It's not to say that you got to live an extravagant lifestyle, and who's to say that that's not okay? You know, it's okay to live an extravagant lifestyle. It's our birthright to live the way we're supposed to live here. You know, and so why is it so hard for us, for entrepreneurs, holistic entrepreneurs specifically, to really get over the money issue? You know, we have to look at that. And sometimes looking at it, and the next slide is really pertinent, that we need to look at maybe the shadows we have about money. Maybe generations that we're dealing with money, about maybe how our ancestors feel about money. I was just dealing with someone on the phone earlier today, and I was like, you know, I'm getting the sense that the reason why you can't charge more than, or at least what I charge my clients, and this person actually has wonderful credentials. She has she's gone to get an MD, and she's an acupuncturist, if you understand what I'm saying. So do you have that blendedness? And here I'm charging, why is it that I can get more from my packages than what you're putting out there? And so that is like a self-value worth thing. But also, you know, maybe it's a generational piece. Maybe it's something we've inherited about money from our generations of our family members. But also, as healers, and I bring this up because I think that we all could use this, maybe it's some past life or something that we were a healer and it wasn't so much accepted back in those days, so we get burned at the stake or stoned to death or whatever. And I know I kind of bring that out there as a little woo-woo, but I feel like I can do that with holistic entrepreneurs.
Yes, you can.
And so here's the thing is, you know, we have to find that beauty in the shadows. So we have to look at this. Oh, this is an issue for me. So how do I get past this and shine a light on it? So we must embrace our shadows. I bring that up. And so it's such a perfect segue into it. So we must embrace our shadows. And embracing our shadows helps us be even more human, but shine more light and takes us at a higher vibration. So instead of resisting our shadows, and that's kind of what the mask thing is about. Oh, I'm going to resist this. I'm not going to let anybody know this about me. But if we let people know that we're so human and embrace those shadows, that we make mistakes too, or maybe we decided that, oh my God, I have this great intuitive ability, but oh my God, I can't see it beyond my own scope of my own emotional space, because we always need someone outside to help us see what we don't see consciously ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I say embrace your shadows. It's okay. Don't feel ashamed about them, because the shame only binds you, and it takes a lot of energy, once again, to feel shameful about yourself. It's like you're hiding. I don't want anybody to know that about me. So here's that transparency factor again.
Beautiful. So then in order for them to walk into that success, and like I always say, walk into their power, then these 3 points of embracing their shadow, having a relationship with money, and having some type of rituals, that will help them be able to embrace success as well.
Yes, actually, it was 5 different steps here I shared about self-care. And so really embracing this self-care piece about yourself, because self-care is beyond just, you know, rituals, but it is embracing totally you. It's like self-love. And so when you can love yourself, people feel it, you vibrate that, and success comes to you because you can feel in your heart. Like you said to me, oh, this woman's very heartful. We didn't even bring anything about her, but I'm like, oh, she really feels me. Really, you know, I radiate a lot of love to folks, and that is where my heart is. I care.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. And do you want to, I think you mentioned about the law of attraction, right?
Talk a little bit about the law of attraction. You know, what we put out comes back to us tenfold. And so all these self-care rituals or all these self-care practices, what we put out there comes back to us tenfold. And so I say, you know, go pay someone for your services that you do to your people. Go pay someone else to do them on you and attract that to you. So you want to magnetize them to you. And this is actually walking on brand. And I don't know if I have that slide on walking on brand. While we move forward, because I know we're running a little bit out of time.
Yeah. This is.
Let's go to the next slide.
Self-worth. Do you want me to move forward? Okay,
well,
there it is.
The money piece. So here we are living on brand. So this is about walking your talk, showing up, all of you, and allow people to see that. You know, these pictures here I have of myself. I mean, they're all over social media. That's the truth. All these pictures that you see here, they're all over social media. It's funny because here it is. I got in my inbox a few weeks ago, and I actually wrote a blog about it. People know me as the self-care queen, because that's what I branded myself back in 2010, as the self-care queen. And so here's the thing. Someone was in my box talking to me and said, Tomasa, I'm about to do the show. I'm launching in the fall. And I put out an email to my list, and I asked them, who do you know I can interview about self-care? And she said, your name popped up like 2 or 3 times. And I'm like, really? I don't even know this lady, right? I'm like, well, who suggested me? And she says, she gives me these names. And I go, I don't even know those people. So what I want to say to you is that I am living my brand when I talk about self-care. So if you are out there, maybe you're a holistic entrepreneur, and maybe you're a person who helps people with headaches. And so what you need to do is you need to talk about all the time, what do you do about headaches? Where do you eat to avoid them? What do what do you do on yourself to avoid headaches? You know, maybe it's drinking lots of water so you're not dehydrated and get a headache. You know, there's all kinds of headaches. I can talk a little bit about headaches because I know a lot about them. But and so the thing about it is, how do you show up on your brand? How do you help people? Because maybe that was your own story. My own story was not having energy. You know, it really affected my immune system. And so here I am. I'm showing up vibrantly because I'm taking care of myself. I'm doing the things that I love to do. And I'm showing up with self-care, because self-care is beyond anything that I might do on myself, apply, you know, these vibrant energy flows. Self-care is about self-love. It's about doing mirror work. I mean, you know, I've added another ritual in my life lately, and that's walking the dog in the morning and saying affirmations as I walk that dog, what I want to create in my life. And that is another form of self-care.
Beautiful.
Self-talk is really your self-care as well.
So your signature work is your brand.
So your signature work, you know, I show up many ways with my signature work, and so many people have all these gifts, and so we might think that these modalities that we practice, and we put ourselves in this square box about this modality. You know, I breathe deeply about this because I want everyone to come out fully expressed. Even if you learned a modality, well, what about that modality can you apply in your life? Like, you know, I take the modalities now and I use them to help train other holistic entrepreneurs or to mentor them to build their businesses. So sometimes they'll come with me, they got their blocks, and guess what? I'm helping them to remove their blocks so that they can show up fully in life. And that is part of my brand, to show up fully. And so guess what? I'm showing up fully. So that is brand. That's my signature work. I'm showing up fully. I expect you to show up fully. So here's the other piece about your signature work. So I talked a little bit about how holistic entrepreneurs don't know how to talk about what it is that they do. They talk about their modality. So people say, what is it that you do? And so one of the things somebody goes, oh, I do Reiki. A lot of people know about Reiki today. I'll say that. But some people are like, what is that? And so, and then you got to do all this explanation about it. And so I say, instead of using your modality or leading with your modality when you talk with people about what it is that you do, you got to look at the results that you help your clients get. So mine happens to be vibrant energy. I help you look younger. I help you be healthier, right? Have you heard me talk about any one of my modalities since we've been talking here?
Oh, no. No.
I mean,
You're talking about the results.
Exactly. And so that's what I'm telling holistic entrepreneurs that they need to do, or spiritual entrepreneurs, that you gotta lead with your results. And your results aren't just what shows up on the table, because it's deeper than that. Your clients get so much more than what is presented. So maybe you help them clear up some back pain. Okay? So let's say the back pain causes them not to be able to work. Or maybe it has them grouchy and they have no energy and they have the horrible relationships because they're snapping at their loved ones. So do you see how helping them clear up their back pain does so much more than just clear up their back pain, get them out of pain? So it helps them have healthier relationships where they can communicate with their loved one. And it helps them get back to work, so they bring in the money so they can support themselves. And what do you think that does for their self-esteem?
Oh my God, it increases.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's a transformational piece that everyone's missing, that they don't look at, they overlook. And so when we're valuing ourselves, we really need to look at that transformational piece, because that's where the real value is, honestly.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful. So defining your ideal clients.
Yeah, and so here's the thing is, you know, a lot of folks think that your ideal clients has to do with, okay, are they male, are they female, how old are they? It's more than just that.
Yay! I'm glad you're saying that.
It's more than just that. So your ideal client might be someone who has a problem that you're solving. So what is the problem that you're solving? So your ideal client might be someone like, these are all holistic entrepreneurs, by the way. And so many of them are either starting out, or they feel like they've been starting out. You know, they're trying to jumpstart their practice to be bigger than what it is. and then maybe they want to double their income. So what I'm doing, I tend to attract the new holistic entrepreneurs, or maybe the ones who have never really had the big leap to bigger income levels.
Mm-hmm.
And so, so what I'm doing is I'm helping holistic entrepreneurs who actually are new to the business, or maybe they've never made more than $3,000 a month, to leap to 6 figures. And so that would be my ideal client, and they could be any age, honestly, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I tend to serve a lot of women because there's a lot more
Absolutely.
women in the field. And so, not to say that I couldn't accept a man, but I'm really helping those holistic entrepreneurs leap forward to making more than $3,000 a month,
Mm-hmm.
and get them get them on the road to making 6 figures, and do it with ease and not with all this like, oh my God, I got to get this done, because you know there's many ways to serve people rather than just one-on-one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. So we've been talking about a lot of this stuff already, and I'm just gonna take this down for a second and get myself back
Okay.
right here. And what I usually do, I know we're ready, you know, to almost end the show, but what I do with my audience all the time, I call this whole show Breaking the Wealth Code with Wisdom, because I bring experts like you, and I always share an astronumerology number for the day. And the number for today is, of course, it's September the 4th, 2014, and it's always amazing on how I bring speakers that connect to these beautiful numbers. And I don't even do it on purpose. I just ask people, what day would you like? And then at the end, it all just comes together. And
I want to hear the number, because a lot of numerology is embedded in my work.
Oh, beautiful. Well, today's September the 4th, and as you know, it's a humanitarian number, September. And here you are, Tomasa, a humanitarian with a beautiful heart, sharing and helping people expand. And then the 4 deals with organization and system thinkings and putting packages together. And here you are putting all these packages together, these systems, and helping other entrepreneurs and holistic people develop their systems, their programs, put them together, and then sell them to high-end clients, which is what you're doing. So I think it's just wonderful that this is the wealth code for today. Plus, when you add 9 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1 plus 4, which is 2014, it adds to a 20. And the 20 is the awakening number by the ancient Chaldean priest. And basically what it means that at some point in your life, you're going to have some awakening experience if you're not experiencing it at this time. And I think that with Tomasa being on this show, she will help you have that awakening experience, because she has these ancient modalities and she's putting all these systems together, and she will help you go deeper within yourself to find your answers so that you can really awaken. And not only you awaken and you be in your power, but you being able to take your clients to the next level and doing that self-care with yourself, which is what we all need as holistic and spiritual entrepreneurs. So I'm just always amazed with how these numbers come together with our speakers. And for you, that you guys are showing up today, that means that you guys will have an awakening moment if you're not having it yet. What's your birthday, if you don't mind, Tomasa?
My birthday is 6/6/1963, but the interesting thing, I believe my number is a 4.
Ah. So it's a 6/6.
I know about 4s, by the way, for the modalities I practice, because there's a lot of numerology embedded in my work, is that 4 is also about manifestation.
Mm-hmm. It
and
is.
So this is about manifesting on this level here in this world. So it's like, get ready to manifest.
Well, yes, and you know what's beautiful is that you have a 6/6, so you have this mother nurturing energy that you're always nurturing and creating. You're always creating and helping others create their vision and putting it together. So those are beautiful numbers to have, which is the self-care. So it's amazing that you came up with, you're the self-care queen, but you have the 6-6 in your number, which is taking responsibility and doing that self-care. It's a beautiful numbers to have. Let me see, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And then you have a 19 with a 20, which is, again, going back with working with big groups, especially this year after your birthday. You're going to be working with larger groups of people, working with opening up and awakening them to their higher self and consciousness awareness, which is a big piece because you're in that 19th year. Beautiful number to have. But anybody who's out there, if you have any questions for Tomasa or myself, go ahead and put it in the chat room and we can probably answer them. Or if you want to know your personal energy number, just kind of type it and we'll answer that for you. Or send me an email to angelicaunderwood@me.com. We have a lot of information to share. In a minute, I'm going to go back to Tomasa's website. And if you want to tell them where they can reach you, Tomasa.
So there's a couple ways you can reach me. One is, actually, should I type it into the chat window? www.tomasa, T-O-M-A-S-A, Macapinlac, MACAPINLAC.com is my website if you're a holistic entrepreneur. And then also, if you would like to learn more about how you can work with me, I'm going to give you a, do you have that link that I sent you?
Yes, it's right here.
Okay.
Oops, it's not sharing. Okay. I thought I was sharing it.
Okay.
Can you see it now?
I don't see it.
Hold on, let me take it off again. I thought I was showing it. Okay, one more time. Give me a second, guys out there. Thank you for your patience. Okay, can you see it now?
Oh, yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. So
a little bit long, but you can go to tomasamacapinlac.com/getbizmojo #AP_ID = match entrepreneurs. And if you wish to learn how to work with me one-on-one, and I'm actually offering this free to the first 10 people who apply. And so there's an application process that you go through, and you'll get contacted within about 24 hours as to when you can actually have a conversation with me. And we can talk about some tweaks that you might need in your business. And I'm pretty good at looking at, oh, well, maybe you need to do this with your business. So I'm pretty good at that. And then also what we can do is look at if you want to work with me more, you know, how could you, what services do I have to offer to you? So one-on-one conversation. There's so much to share here, especially when it comes to sales. We didn't even get to the sales part because that is a third mistake, that folks don't learn how to sell. And so you got to know how to sell in a non-salesy way without really getting, what you really want to do is get folks to really salivate for your offer, and I know how to do that.
So I really encourage all of you that are out there to connect with Tomasa. She has wonderful ideas. She's a holistic entrepreneur herself, and she practices self-care, which is really, really important. So connect with her. And before we end the day, I really need to inform other people, you know, our audience that Slavica Bogdanov, she will be on my show next Friday, and she will be talking about bankrupt to wealth, and she will be on the show at 10 p.m. at 10 a.m. Central. I also have Daniel E. Green, a CPA, How to Stop Wasting Money on Taxes You Don't Have to Pay. He will be on my live radio show on Monday at 6 p.m. Central Time. So join us and don't miss any of these shows. And for those of you, last but not least, I am having the Power and Art of Networking October 24th through the 25th here in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. So join us if you really want to mastermind and have FaceTime from 8:30 to 11:30. We're going to create an authentic plan, and I have amazing speakers coming. So join us at my live event, and don't forget to connect with Tomasa, because she is the expert of the day that will help you do more self-care and practice more loving energy on yourself. Thank you, Tomasa. Oh my God, I loved your conversation today. It was wonderful.
I loved your conversation with you too. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and namaste to everyone.
Okay, namaste to all of you, and I will see you here in next week at this on Friday, because we're going to switch it just a little bit for our next interviewee. You all have an amazing day, morning, wherever you are. We love you, and you take care of yourself. Bye-bye. Bye, Tomasa.
Bye. Thank you.